What gives us drive to create? You know, there's something about making videos or painting, drawing, making music, creating a video game, whatever it is that you like to do to manifest something into the world that has this really intense appeal. And it seems something that, for one, is uniquely human, but perhaps there are creatures out there that also like to create. I guess you could say spiders make webs. So I can't say if they get enjoyment from that because they might need to do that to survive. Maybe they do. But why is it that we want to make things? Like to draw a picture that no one will see, or record a podcast that no one will listen to, make a video game no one will play. What is it that drives someone to do this? Is it this possibility of a future reward? Do they want to be seen by other people? Do they just want attention? What does the creator get out of creating? A way to get away from boredom? Maybe experience something new? I suppose each person has a different reason for why they do what they do. But it's funny when you look at these platforms we use for distributing our creations, whether that's social media platforms like YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest, whatever you can name, Twitch. There's something that feels like it almost hijacks your brain. And I'm speaking more specifically to analytics and watching your content or creation perform. If you're starting out a YouTube channel, or even if you've had one for a while, there's always this curiosity of, how is my video doing? Or if you have an Instagram account, how is my post performing? Same with TikTok or many other of these social platforms. We always want more viewers, more subscribers, more likes, more followers. But why? Is it because we want to become famous? Do we just want to be seen? Is it this dopamine hijacking thing that's going into our brain and making us run like a hamster on a wheel? Social media is a really valuable tool. It can be used for a lot of incredibly useful things. It's a great way for people to connect, especially across long distances. But there is a dark side to it. You can get so wrapped up in looking at how your content is performing that it can start to skew what you create. it can start to alter and change what you're putting out into the world. Instead of creating for the sake of expressing yourself, you could begin to create for the algorithm, to create for this machine that is indifferent to your feelings. All it can care about is extracting the most value from each piece of content you publish. There's this competition where you could be creating something and then you're going up against another creator, and one of those creators is going to win out in attention versus the other. And that competition can drive people to skew what they're creating. It can make them want to optimize their video for views or engagement, trying to get the most attention to anybody else on the platform. And perhaps that comes from human nature and who we are inside. A lot of us, and maybe it's all of us, have competitiveness within us. We want to succeed. We want to outplay, outperform, outdo the other person. For a lot of people, I think that feels natural. But is competition in this space the right thing for you? If you're a creator and you just want to make things because you just enjoy making them, if you get caught up in the space of competing against other people and trying to optimize your content, so you're trying to outperform everybody else, are you really creating the things you want to express? The things you really want to put out into the world? Or is your creation a little bit altered because of that algorithm, that competitiveness that drives you to outperform? I think there's still value in creating competitive content, if that's the kind of route you want to go down. If that's the path you're on, you like it, you get enjoyment from it, that's where you want to go, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And that content you're creating can have a lot of value to people that are watching it. You know, especially when it comes to things that are high production, movies, television shows, or even really dense informational videos. Trying to make it as good as possible really makes sense, because people don't really want their time wasted, especially when they're doing something that's important to them, solving a problem that they're faced with, you know, like trying to configure some tech issue they're having. They want the information quick, bite-sized. Give it to me now. Give it to me straight. I don't want any fluff. Just help me solve this problem. And the creators who do that correctly are rewarded for that, which is fantastic. But let's say you're trying to make art, and you start to fall into this space of competing. Does it have a beneficial output on your creations? Does it make them better? Do you feel like you express yourself better because you are being competitive? Or does that competition skew your creation? At the end of the day, both creations would end up being a human feeling, most likely. But it's hard to say. I think there's something that's kind of exciting about doing something raw. You only get one shot. You don't get second chances. Either the video does well or it doesn't. Either people listen or they don't. You know, I feel like there is this area, this group of people who are interested in just what goes on behind the scenes. They don't care about the fluff, the polish. They just want something real. I don't know if the algorithm rewards that. And to be honest, I don't think it does. But maybe it's still possible for those creators to still get seen on those platforms by just staying authentic to themselves. By not trying to outcompete other creators, by just being them, putting out what they like, putting out what they want to put out, and not caring about anything else. And if their viewers like it, great. If they don't, great. It doesn't matter. What they did was they accurately expressed themselves. That is what matters.